All right, blue-black rogues. For starters, why are we playing rogues? What's the payoff? Smituga, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Soaring Thought-Thief is the payoff for being in a rogue-focused deck. If the opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, rogues you control get +1 attack. It has flying and flash. Whenever 1 or more rogues you control attacks, each opponent mills 2 cards. So this is a payoff for doing that. Having a rogue theme. We've got maybe got some land rogues. We've got Rankle for an aggressive piece of top end. We've got some Nighthawk Scavengers. We've got some counter spells. We've got some cheap threats at the bottom end of our curve. Let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes. I am interested to see if my deck that's trying to mill my opponents can be competitive in a format where Uro exists. Yeah, it's basically blue-black evasions. The problem is that we're going to enable our opponent's Uros. I would really like to give a shout out to Magic Arena for really helping us in these trying COVID times. It's been so long since I've been to a busy, crowded restaurant, I'd forgot what waiting for a server felt like. So I feel like I appreciate it helping me connect with the things I used to be able to do beforehand. Oh, there's no... Is matchmaking down? Let's check the status page. Checking the status page can only end poorly. I love how there's just like this random box from June 25th up here. I appreciate the downtime for people to feel like they're playing the Mythic Invitational. I'm gonna tweet something to that effect. That's good. Arena doing its best to emulate the Mythic Invitational this afternoon by putting lots of downtime between small amounts of magic. Send tweet. Look at that. It shows me which cards are also lands. That sounds great. Probably play Blackbloom Rogue as a tapped land on 1. We can go Island Thought-Thief on 2. And then we can Glasspool mimic the Thought-Thief, which is great. And hey, that lets us curve into Rankle. Love it. This is flash, right? Yeah. We're actually gonna kill them, like, really quickly here. So, like, both of these are going to be on next turn, and we're going to attack for 6, 11. This is turn 4 attack for 11. Do I want more of... I think I only have 2 of the clones in my deck, but this start is convincing me that I should probably start with more of those. No, I have 4. Never mind. I have 4 clones. Looking at my deck list. Pretty sure I just do nothing, right? Maybe I'm supposed to make us both draw because it makes them lose life. Milled 2 Stone Coil Serpent seems good. Yeah, Soaring Thought-Thief seems real good. Well, poop. Yeah, can I get a flavor judge ruling on... Can I get a flavor judge ruling on my opponent's... On my opponent's fight creature fighting my flyer? You can't block me, why can you fight me? So they have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures in their graveyard. So they're going to gain 8 life this turn. Yorvo yeets the hammer. Fair. The context of the fight matters. I'll buy that for $1. Dr. Armadillo, PhD, thank you for the 3/4 of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, interesting to note here, if I would have made them lose a life to draw a card, I would be able to kill them with Soaring Thought-Thieves this turn. But I didn't, so we can't. They get to gain up to 7 with Scavenging Ooze here. But then they wouldn't have paid. Sure, but then they wouldn't have a Lovestruck Beast in play. So we're open to draw a Rankle here. Or another Soaring Thief. Can someone make a command explaining that Nahiri's Lithomancing is bugged? So we had to play something else. Here, trade out Lofty Denial for some spot removal. Probably just get rid of this. They're gonna have plenty of blockers for it on the ground. That's something people probably need to be aware of going into this weekend. I'm glad I got my packs open at least. Hearing people can't open packs now. We at least got in and did that right away. Okay, Ashan looks fine. We'll go Island, Robber on 1, Robber, tapped land on 2. Well, maybe I play this and keep this as a threat to play. I did get my 3 free packs. Thank you, though. Just beat Rakdosak with Rogues and Historic was one-sided. Being able to get cheap threats definitely helped. Sweet. Are we drowning the Skoos in the Loch, or am I playing Nighthawk Scavenger? I think I'm just playing Nighthawk Scavenger. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with Corey tomorrow. Should be good. Are we drowning this now? Probably. What else could they play that's scary? We're just drowning that now. Yeah, the question isn't about, is the ooze worth killing? The ooze is definitely worth killing. It's, do I want to hold up the drown in the Loch to counter something else, chat? That's the like, on my mind. One mana Doomblade here looks really good. It's like the flashy pirate we used to play, but cheaper. Yeah, it's a good comparison. That's fair, Bez. This card having lifelink's real tough to race. Yes, Thursday's the public beta. This is lethal, right? Makes these 9 total. Alright, that went pretty good. Yeah, I was sad, Sean. It's still broken. We were gonna do Omnath stuff. Well, I didn't update my stream title. We're gonna do Omnath stuff. Or did I? Did I update it in the other spot? I updated it in the other spot. I've got 2 windows open. Lethal Forming is unfortunately still broken. I'm happy with how I boarded. Just a couple extra pieces of spot removal in. So we have 1 land in this, so easy mulligan. Do you believe, chat? The tough part about this is I don't have black sources. If we draw a black source in the first couple of draws, this into this into this is like really good. Hey-o. Hey-yo. I say hey-o. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Swindy, thanks for the happy year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Just go ahead and get this fetch out of the way now. No fight there is really good for us. That's great too. Okay. If they don't interact, I think we win this race. Because they're going to 5 cards milled here. Next turn I get to Glasspool Mimic my Soaring Thief, my Soaring Thought-Thief. These will attack, we'll mill them to 9. These will each be 3. So we'll hit them down to 8. It depends on how many mites they have. Their best possible here is probably like Questing Beast plus a removal spell. I suppose they could have a Scavenging Ooze potentially. Yeah, looks like they have the removal spell. That's probably the game. This is 5-3. Do I want these Windrobbers to chump block with? I think I want at least one of them to chump block with. I think I'd prefer to not trade Nighthawk Scavenger this turn. Skillfully milled Questing Beast off the top of the deck. I unfortunately cannot sacrifice them yet. Or one card off of that. Alright, so we get to take Gargoth out back and drown it in the Loch at least. And then this card's very hard to race, chat. Hey, thanks for the 26 months, Toxic Flames. Well, standard rotation happened today. So how is it? I will let you know. Give me a week at least. Yeah, Drown's been very good so far. Scavenger feels very powerful. Another fight spell here. I'm not dead to a fight spell, right? Because we're at 14. And then we could potentially kill them with Rankle next turn. Worth noting that Glasspool Mimic being our 4th land was super instrumental here. That does have reach. Do 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 do. Protection from Bloom, protection from Drown, not protection from Borrower. All right, chat, I'm into it. I'm into it. Brazen Borrower still stellar. I like tempo decks. Tempo. Tempo. Do 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 do. Waiting for server for my tempo to play a match. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. See some folks in chat using the next open command. The next event in our Hoaglandia Open series will be Standard this weekend, fresh after rotations happening Saturday morning. While we're waiting for server, we can pull up the details on that if you haven't seen them on MTG Melee. Cool Stuff Inc. decided they wanted to amp up the prize pool a little bit, so everybody that gets at least 4 match wins will get prized in this tournament, with first place getting all the way up to $180 in Cool Stuff Inc. store credit. So scales up here based on how much you win. So the prize pool will scale with the number of entrants. We're going to pay out about $2 in store credit for every $1 in entry fees, which is sweet. I think Time Raveler is trying to come back. Let's slow things down. Scheduled maintenance is still ongoing. We're technically 8 minutes away from the scheduled maintenance being done, right? If I recall correctly. Will the win rates be hidden? No, the only events on MTG Melee where data is hidden are Magic Esports official events. Otherwise, MTG Melee provides lots of wonderful data. Prepare your assets, chat. We're going in. Prepare your assets. It's update day. That's a great command. God bless you, mods. God bless you. Your hard work. Sadazar, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Spoils of Adventure. Is that the party demonic tutor or something else? I don't know the names of all the cards. Yeah, this hand's great, right? Windrobber on 1 into Murky Pathway on 2, hold up Denial / Thought-Thief. I too am very excited for a Magic the Gathering format that does not contain the set War of the Spark. You and me both. How many times have we mulligan hands thinking there's no land? So to credit where credit is due, I think the Arena team's done a really good job of highlighting the fact that these cards flip over in your opening hand, showing that they're lands, is really well done. Spike Field Hazard. Wow, this card's really good. Instant speed, deal damage to anything, can flip to be a land. Seems excellent. I'm gonna be honest, Wargy, I don't know. Pretty sure we're just blocking here. Probably gonna cast Awakening on 6. There are like some other things we don't mind playing out here that are probably gonna die. Well, I guess they exiled that one. It's kind of annoying. To be fair, most game companies have release day issues in terms of bandwidth. So the initial update not rolling out and having downtime when there wasn't supposed to be downtime, that really shouldn't happen. They should be more ready than that, I think. But the bandwidth issues are pretty understandable in the industry. That's definitely not really outside the norm. It doesn't make sense for you to build your infrastructure in a way to support a release day load that then is never going to get close to that load again until the next release day. Like, ideally it wouldn't be that way, but like, this is how it works with lots of things. Hey, Rabner, thanks for the 39 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Red Rover, let's Spite Dragon over. Yeah, I would probably be weary of opening booster packs in the short term while they're having server issues. If you hit an issue with it, remember to file for comp. It's easy to auto-scale containers nowadays. It depends on... I feel like if scaling was really that easy, it wouldn't be such a common industry problem, Jin. Is this a land or is it a spell? I think we're holding on to this. I think we're holding on to this until it's a spell. I do not know, but I like that you have to ask. Yes, modal cards are great. Cards that let you make decisions, create player agency inside of the games. I'm really, really excited about this mechanic in general, and I hope that it's a mechanic we see become just a staple in Magic, that we just see more land spells every set. Would be ideal and best for the game, in my opinion. Sure, why not? Yeah, me too, Andrew. Not having a second blue source has been really clunky for us. So they get to attack for 8 here, and then they can play Brazen Borrower to block my Soaring Thieves. So, do I have any lethal draws? I don't think so. Yeah, my lack of a second blue means that Borrower's not lethal here, right? Yeah, I mean, I can't say I blame you too much for bailing out an arena because of the economy pickle. It's definitely not consumer friendly. It's very expensive to play arena. Alright, one is not none. So we'll go to 1 here. We get to Brazen Borrower this and kill them. Oh, yeah, we could have aged him for 2 as well, right? With that, it's a good catch. Alright, so I'm kind of thinking maybe these eliminates should just be in my main deck instead of these lofty denials. Just play more cards that play to the board. I don't think this is a dispute matchup. They have a lot of cheap threats. I mean, you can look at their graveyard while you're in the thing, too. I was keeping an eye on the cards that were flipping into their bin as we were playing, though. I mean, you're not Pickle Bolas is the point. You're supposed to spend a ton of money. Like, games like Arena are free to play, so people who spend money have other people to play with. Arena is not a cheap game. Anybody reasonable won't tell you otherwise. How much do they want? Hundreds. I spent $300 last night getting cards. I think we go Temple on 1 here, so that way we can go Thief into Clone Thief. Nah, I don't like Erebos' intervention. I think Cling is better because Cling can cantrip. And like you don't want Erebos' intervention doesn't really have good text against Uro decks most of the time. It seems cohesive. I think it's difficult to impossible to judge how good or bad a deck is when you're playing against lots of other brews. The metric you should be looking at to determine how things are is, does it feel like you have a cohesive game plan that you're executing? And so far this deck does. Okay, so this costs 5. I'm going to go ahead and play this. And then I'll play this, which mills them for 2. And then we'll attack, mill them for 2, and drown this before blocks. Drowning the Loch's been really, really impressive so far. The flip lands are great. They're a wonderful addition to the game of Magic the Gathering, and I hope they become a staple. Cards that give you choices and mitigate resource variance are a net positive for the game. Am I playing around them having an instant here? Am I playing around them having an instant here? So I could Glasspool, Mimic my Thought-Thief, and then attack, and it becomes a 3/3 when it attacks, which means it offers to trade with Stormwing. They're through a Shock, an Opt, and a Hazard. Just gonna play Nighthawk Scavenger. And then we'll clone the Scavenger, I think. Snuggle Bear, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This doesn't really accomplish much. We're bottoming that. Do I know how to get the stick remotes? I do not. I assume the answer involves giving them money. Is there a downside to playing the dual lands over basics aside from the types? No, Adam. Dual lands are just better than basics, pretty much. Oh yeah, bolt yourself, baby. Are we killing my Scavenger? That would not be good for our hero. Sure, bye-bye. Castles also, so like, you can't play castles as easily, but castles are also less good than they previously were now, because you don't need castles if you have spell lands, generally speaking. Speaking of spell lands, the black spell land's probably our best draw in the deck here, right? It literally brings back 3 things. How does this deck work if the opponent's playing Uro? You concede. My stream is pre-recorded in front of a live Twitch audience, never forget. This is the best of the spell lands, by the way. Confident this is the best one. The key to calling your shots is if you call every shot, eventually some of them are correct. Red's not too far behind. I think the second best is red or green. I think the green one's pretty good. Anticipate versus deliberate is an interesting discussion. So the upside to deliberate is you can keep both of the cards, is a big deal. Did they just bounce? Oh, I guess both my creatures are flash creatures, right? Alright, pretty sure I'm taking this trade this time through. Oh yeah, that's true. They should have bounced the one that wasn't trading with them, right? Okay, if they brick on a land, we get to drown the Borrower in the Loch and kill them with Nighthawk. So they have to chump block here, and then we gain 6. We're actually, like, getting close to milling them, too. Like, they're at 14 cards. Like, this is milling them another 2. I don't know that I can fully put into words how much better playing Magic feels with these cards. Like, I don't think I currently have words to describe to do justice how good that style of effect is for the game. Like, it's incredibly good for the game. They were down to like 3 cards in deck there too, which is kind of funny. Really hope we see these things become a staple. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of... It's not innovative, right? Like, I get that it's not innovative, but I also don't care that it's not innovative, chat. I get that there's like 600 other games that have done something similar with their resource systems. I'm just glad that this type of thing finally exists in Magic. They seem like a huge net positive for the game itself. Their server issues are weird. Like, we keep hitting these while trying to get into menus and stuff, but the actual games that we're playing, we're not having any lag in the actual matches, which feels strange. This is a good reminder that this is the intelligence level of people that run in the GOP. We will never rewrite the Constitution of the United States. Should we tell her, chat? Should we tell her? God, I'm glad there's other people. I'm glad there's other people that can tell her. These are actual elected officials. This is a senator. She has her job for 6 years, chat. She's from the South, right? Oh yeah, Tennessee, definitely GOP. They live in a different world, chat. Different world, devoid of reality. Alonazar, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the Prime support. Code Monkey, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me around. Let's try and re-kick it, huh? Kick it. How do posts like that end up in your feed? Mostly via people who do fact checks dunking on them. This person, Aaron Rupar, he live fact checks basically every speech Donald Trump does. It's great. And by great, I mean it's kind of depressing, but it's good information to have available to you. Your archetype pick up anything extra if it goes in the historic card pool. Watery Grave. Daniel Dale is another good one. Correct. Alright, so these are black sources. Yeah, sounds good, right? Have this on 1 and Lofty Denial on 2. Wonder how many check lands you play in Historic with the new lands. I mean, you already didn't play that many check lands in Historic, to be fair. I think these are probably better than check lands on average. I actually, just in general... Alright, here's the test, chat. First Uro matchup. I think these might be my favorite dual lands. I love that these dual lands are always untapped, don't cost me life, but also they explicitly do not enable people to... what's the word I'm searching for? They don't enable people to be able to play lots of spells with different color requirements, which is nice. Maybe I should have bounced their Lotus Cobra. I am shocked and more than a little frustrated that Uro is still legal in every Magic format. It is kind of unfathomable that card is still legal. Okay. Are our counter spells enough? Let's find out. gonna play one of these tap for now. Probably play the other one out as a spell. Let's see if... And the problem here is, right, like, they have so much mana that Lofty Denial's drawing dead at this point. We're just passing. Alright. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. Haskow! I just saw that USPS has a plan fully drafted up in April to send 5 face masks to every residential post office, and the White House blocked it so people wouldn't panic. Says, oh, wow. That's, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I miscounted. I shouldn't have played this. I shouldn't have played this because we're 1 short, right? I don't really want to drown this. Oh, I guess I need those mills so I can drown the Uro, right? When do we start considering a criminal? Well, you have to understand that the laws don't apply to rich white men in the United States, so it doesn't matter how many crimes Donald Trump commits. He won't be held accountable for any of them. He has 52 Senate Republicans shielding him from backlash on any action he takes. Okay. And, like, the problem here is that, like, they're gonna get to do it again next turn, right? Because, like, I'm literally just providing them with an endless flow of things. Now, the good news is I do at least get this off this turn, right? So we get 6-10 in. And I think we've put enough cards in their bin that we get to drown the Uro this turn. So maybe are we fine? We could be fine. Roxer Boxer, thank you for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Their deck has 33 cards. They're going to die to damage before the deck. All right, we beat them escaping Uro a bunch. Give me some clings. Nighthawk Scavenger seems really bad against them escaping things. Probably want Agonizing Remorse. Cling and Remorse are basically our anti-Uro tools. Think we have to keep drowning the Loch like that game we just saw. I'm not sure Mystic Dispute's supposed to come in here. I don't think I can keep a double tap land hand, right? I don't think I can keep a double tap land hand. It's a good draw. So we get to do this, and then this enabled taking the snake out back and drowning it in the Loch. Is it the best clone ever? Quite possibly. Doesn't do anything right now, though. Yeah, Collected Company got huge upgrades in Historic for sure. Big agree. No box. We opened 256 packs and did not get a complete playset of rares. Just for reference. So they can eat 3 things out of their graveyard here, but I still get to drown this in the Loch, right? So I think I'm okay with that. It was like $150 to get full playsets of everything on Runeterra, but you also don't need full playsets on that game because you could just buy cards as you want them. On Arena, you basically need to buy full playsets to get the minimum stuff you want. Because, like, you're not guaranteed to get cards you actually care about. Why did they do that? They have another one? I have a Fabled Passage. Okay. Maybe they didn't realize Fabled Passage was untapped at the moment. I don't know, we take those. Hey, the Faith Age, thank you for the 47 months of support. That's a really long time. Thanks for keeping me around. Well, we have to restart after each match, but we're slowly getting there. Maintenance has been extended while we continue to investigate loading and network issues. I appreciate the communication, at least. So. Did they not update this page? It still says it's expected to last 3 hours, right? Starting at 8 a.m. PT? I guess Twitter's more accurate than the status page. They might not let you back in. Well, we weren't in to begin with, so there isn't really a back end because we weren't really in to start. Why even have a status page then? It's a big question. Well, to be fair, trigger warning, the actual gameplay's been fine so far. Like, when we get into a match, the actual matches aren't lagging at all. It's just the getting to a match isn't really possible at the moment. Do I play Modern still? No, I don't really play any Magic Online format still in. I took a donation to do a Belcher League in Legacy for funsies at some point, but for the most part, just sticking to playing real video games on stream now. Arena, Runeterra, we'll be doing some role-playing games, Morrowind, Horizon Zero Dawn. What's going on, Stream Dog? The Rogue decks felt better than expected so far. Hopefully we'll have to play some more of it. So again, and I think this is something I really want to make sure I hammer home, Bib. Bib asked, when was the last time you think Wizards consistently printed reasonable power-leveled cards? It is not, in my opinion, a big deal that issues happen. things like Uro, Oko, even Teferi Time Raveler, I don't think it's a big deal that, like, those designs missed in testing and, like, they got printed. Response time to those issues, I think, is always the thing that should be improved upon. You're never going to catch all the problems. Game design is hard. People are human. Things get missed. The thing they could definitely be better about, though, is one, communicating clearly what their watch list of cards is and what they're potentially looking at changing in advance, as well as the actual response time in implementing those changes. Those would be the two things I would really like to see changed. I'm not unreasonable. I don't expect them to, hey, never miss the mark. Yeah, I agree. Part of the reason why Pioneer was awesome when it first started was because they were communicating what they were looking at and they were making regular updates. Hey, Seth, thanks for the 2/3 of you. I really appreciate that Prime support. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Sure, I think that's true, but I also don't think it's a big deal. Mistakes happen. Is Arena down? I stepped away. Arena is napping. It's been a tough morning. It deserves a little bit of a break, chat. All right, I have a screen. Prepare your assets, chat. We're going in. This is esports ready. Arena's building suspense, chat. Suspense is key to any esports storyline. $100 is $1. That is correct, Stiggy. All right, now we get to play a full match. So far, once we get in and get a match, the matches have played fine. Ooh, new game board. None of these are spell lands, right? Easy mulligan. Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep. Spell lands, you say? This is a 5-lander, chat. I don't know what you want from me. People were complaining about this board? What's wrong with it? I think they do a pretty good job with the boards on Arena. My literal only complaint about boards on Arena is that I can't pay money to always have the one that I want. Am I bolting myself twice against mono red? I feel like that's gotta be a mistake, right? Watsy on Reddit said the lithoforming bug will be patched this evening, so hopefully we can play the landfall decks tomorrow. Sweet. I'm also going to be on again tonight, so for people who are my regulars or haven't been by the channel for a while, I am doing dual stream segments. So I'm planning to be live till about 5 o'clock this evening, which is another 3.5 hours. Then I'm going to take a 2-hour break to eat some dinner and check in with the family, and then I'll be back from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So every weeknight, I am planning to be live from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock Central Cornfield time. I kind of want a bit more interaction in my main deck. I think I might replace these Pilferers with the Murder Land split card. Blood Chief's Thirst. Oh, does the bot not have the new set in it yet? Rude. Oh, it's a good Fatal Push. It's okay. That card's fine. I think I want a card that can double as a land, though. Nah, you're welcome to submit decks without sideboards, and I'll add sideboards. Yeah, I think that card will be good in Historic with Arcanist. I agree with that. So, I feel like I'm pretty far ahead on board right now. And similar, I think I want to kill this Stormfist. I think I want to kill this Stormfist Crusader. Oh, I could have done that pre-combat to deal an extra and gain some more. Yeah, I messed that up. If I was going to do that, my timing was bad. So I could be at 18 and they'd be at 15 if I had timed that better. Not used to the play patterns on this card yet, dictating how we sequence our removal. Yeah, the soundtrack on this board is really good. What's the name on the Murderland? I actually don't know. Does anybody know offhand? You submit a sideboard, you build the deck? Sure. Probably. Hagra Mauling. There you go. Mauling. I think I want 2 of those over these Pilferers. Oh, they'd be at the same life because we would have added a card type to their blocker. It's a good thought. But I still would have been up 2 more against their aggro deck, which is relevant. Maybe I should have kept the land to make this unblockable. Hoping to draw a card to bounce this. The Nighthawk's been really impressive. I don't think I want to trade these. Attacking here is just not very good. If they attack at all, it should be like just the Fallmire Knight. Even that's pretty bad for them. Yeah, I agree. Not offering the trade because mine is bigger is exactly why I didn't attack. I have this ready to draw some extra cards. If we can find a Drown in the Loch or Brazen Borrower, we can bounce this Nighthawk Scavenger and then hit them and gain a bunch of life. Yeah, this attack gains us life, right? They have no cards in hand. This is probably a concession attack then, right? I'm not missing anything here, right? That's a black castle, not a red castle. Make this unblockable. They trade here. They take 9. I'm okay with that. I guess they're taking 5 down to 7. I think I'm still okay with that. Well, I mean, the fact that we're playing Nighthawk Scavenger in this deck with mill things in it is definitely a thing as well. I don't think I want to make us draw. Yeah, I do. Deals the damage to them. They're going to get to draw a card anyways. Didn't they have a 3 block on your 2/3? They did, but then they took 6. So I offered the 2/3 so that way if they wanted to let my giant thing live, it could. So they took the trade rather than the free each. So they took less damage to the face. Oh, that's a good observation. If I choose the discard mode there, they have to take an extra damage from the castle. It's a good thought. And they couldn't draw with castle in response to the trigger. Otherwise, they just lose the card. It's a good catch. We should have sacked Rankle because there's another one on top of our deck. Punted. Yeah, that's true. Pilferer is fine here. That being said, had this been the removal spell I'd like to replace it with, Time Lord, we would have won the game already. So, like, I think I'd like it to be a removal spell. You're getting a black screen when starting Arena because the Arena servers are currently dying. We are currently undefeated with blue-black rogues over the course of 3 or 4 matches, press a pick. So I am ready to declare that this deck is unbeatable. It is indeterminately the best deck in the format, and everybody else can stop brewing because we broke it. That's how that works, right? That's what Twitch chat wants to hear. I should put that in my stream title. Undefeated on my way to Mythic, broke the format. It's a Cling to Dust matchup. It's probably not. Let's bring in the extra removal spells here. Trim the Lofty Denials. Standard is solved. We've played the format for 45 minutes and we've solved it all, chat. That's what other streamers tend to do, so why not? You're not wrong. That's the joke. With your mouth wide open and 100% win rate. Yep. I mean, my YouTube channel could definitely get more clicks if I put more effort into clickbaiting people. You won't believe what chat made me play. Jeff Hoagland destroys pathetic arena decks with logic and rogues. We've only played against one Uro deck, and we actually managed to beat it in spite giving them enough cards to constantly escape their Uro. So, that's neat. I also like that, and I think this is an important distinction. I like that it feels like a tempo deck that's not just endless counter spells. Like, things like mono blue tempo and like blue green flash from previous seasons, like, those were definitely tempo decks, but the fact that the play patterns they generated were just endless counters really didn't tend to feel very good. So I like that this is doing tempo-y things without that just endless stream of no. Like, we've got a good variety of things going on. We've got some counter spells in the mix, but not all of them. We'll never have our draws denied by Narset again. Not in this format. I hope Standard is good. When Standard's good, Magic's good, Standard formats are some of the best formats they have to offer. It's been a hot second since it's been consistently good, but I hope we get back to that point. I would love to have Standard be a regular part of the stream schedule again. Historic has its charms, but I would prefer to have a format that I can play somewhat consistently without dying to Muxus on turn 3. So, I think there's a non-zero chance that without the blue-green dual land, maybe the Uro decks are clunky enough that they have to take some time off, but that card will definitely get better if it's still legal when the next set drops, adding that blue-green dual land back in. So, first time we've had someone disconnect. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. I guess it has turn 3, it has Thief into Glasspool Mimic. It's probably good. We'll fetch an island on one. Yeah, so the grand finals is in October, the middle of October, and they announced that it's going to be split format, standard historic, which is awesome. Split format tournaments are amazing. I really hope Muxus isn't legal for it, though. I don't think that card's necessarily too good for historic, but it really just doesn't generate good games. Yeah, looks like our opponent unfortunately disconnected, which is a shame. Our hand's real slick. I agree, press pick. Best thing to happen to Magic since the London Mulligan. You literally just count them as lands, dude. Light. They're just mana sources. Yeah, I agree. I agree, LeCarp. We talked about that before. I think a lot of their ban decisions don't consider how the format feels often enough. Our opponent needs to time out one more time. We're flooded right now. Yeah, kinda. Except both these spells are great. Frank Carson said to count them as 2/3 of a land. It depends on... So, again, as is often the case, there isn't really a cut and dry answer, and how much of a land you count them as should be dictated by, like, what your curve is, how much you can afford to play tapped lands, how color intensive your spells are. There's a lot of factors. Like, do you count this as a full land because it can always be untapped, but you, like, count the tapped ones as less of a land? Like, again, depends on how they fit into your curve. Nah, I think that's incorrect, Max. I think the people that created Muxus just genuinely didn't expect it to be competitive in Historic. I think they just missed how good it was going to be. They saw it as a 6-mana goblin and assumed the 6-mana goblin wasn't going to be constructed playable. Yeah, I think they thought it was an EDH card. I think they thought it just wouldn't be a big deal to include in Historic, and they missed the power level on it. The actual games we've played have been good so far, Salamander. All right, so rather than sitting here and dealing with constant server issues here, I was going to stream until 5 o'clock and then take a break and come back at 7 p.m. and stream from 7 to 10. I think I'm going to take a break now. I'll upload this set since we had a few matches in it that worked, and I'm going to plan to come back, I think, at 5 o'clock, and I'm going to plan to be live from 5 until at least 10 this evening. So I'm going to take off for a few hours now. Hopefully they sort their server issues over the next few hours. Remember, if you're interested in my schedule, you can find it here. If you're interested in watching Magic, just to plug my stuff, we've got that next Open command up there. For people that aren't familiar with what that is, the Oglandia Open Series is an event that me and others put on my channel. We're trying to do them at least once a month. We might start doing them twice a month if they increase in popularity. Man, my website's taking a second to load here now. Come on, don't make me look bad, jeffhoagland.com. So, if you haven't seen our coverage before, it's very professional. We're going to head on down. We cover both players' hands during sideboarding when they're making mulligans. Inside of the actual games, we cover both players' game boards. If you're interested in watching this, it's going to be available all day Saturday, featuring all these new standard cards. If you're interested in playing in the tournament, you need to be subscribed to my channel, and then there's a $6 entry fee on MTG Melee. Cool Stuff Inc. sponsors the event. Everybody that gets at least 4 match wins will get store credit. First place gets up to $180 in store credit. You can learn more about that here. At any rate, I'll be back this evening. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in about 3 hours when hopefully they'll have their stuff together. Peace, folks.